Hey guys, what's up? Time for another fragrance review. And you know what? I'm going to do another artistic review. I know, I feel like the reviews of me actually showing myself get more views, but I want to do an artistic review because I think it's more fun. So today we're going to do Parfums de Marly HEROD, right? And you know, I'm always looking for a good cherry fragrance and a cherry tobacco. I like tobacco fragrances, so this should be right up my alley. And I always feel like HEROD is a weird one for me because I feel like is a fragrance that should be like a big love for me, but it's always just, it's like a healthy kind of like for me, I guess. It's just something I never seem to reach for very often, but when I wear it, I'm like, why don't I wear it very often? So anyway, let's tell a story about HEROD. So let's look at the notes here, right? And when we look at the notes here, one thing I should mention, I don't know if I've ever said this on my channel before, at least an artistic review. When you look at ISOE Super or whatever, I would describe that as, imagine you have a piece of like cedar wood or something like that, and you take a plastic saw and you're like, and you like cut through this cedar wood, and then you get these like sawdust shavings with little plastic sweet shavings as well, like from a sweet plastic saw, and those kind of like a sawdust kind of smell. That's what I think ISOE Super smells like. So sorry, let's get into HEROD. What does it smell like? So imagine you're there, you're chilling with your girlfriend, your waifu, whatever is going on, and boom, you hear an explosion or something like that. And you get this explosion into your nose, your nostrils real quickly of, you know, cinnamon and dark pepper or something like that. And you're like, what is this explosion, right? It's like tickling your nose, and you go over and you go to your freezer because it came from your freezer, right? And I say that because this is a warm fragrance, right? It is a warm fragrance, but there is a bit of a cool tinge to this fragrance, almost like a freezer burn almost aspect to it. So anyway, you go to your evil freezer, find out where this explosion is coming from. You see some kind of like cherry aroma coming out of it, some like smoke, some tobacco aroma, some of that black pepper, that cinnamon, and you open it up, and in your freezer, you got this cedar block or something like that, right? And so then you take out this big cedar block, right? And then you take your saw and you like saw into your cedar block. And when you open this cedar block, there's like a cherry slushy tobacco. That's what I think this smells like. It's like a cherry slushy tobacco, right? And on a sad note, I don't know if you know this, but slushies don't actually exist in Japan. It's kind of sad, right? So if you ever go to Japan, slushies just Slurpees. They just never took off. But anyway, so that's kind of like one of the stories you get for this. And then as it dries down, that cherry slushy tobacco from that cedar wood that you cut into, that's giving off that kind of smoky aroma, whatever, the cherry dies down and it becomes much more vanilla, right? The vanilla, much more vanilla, much more of a decadent vanilla, I should say, much more thick, you know, gourmandish almost vanilla, right? With less cherry, but now there's a little bit of some honey specks maybe in this like vanilla tobacco kind of smell. Maybe there's a little bit in this pool of decadent vanilla tobacco, whatever. Maybe there's a little bit of some cedar chips, some sawdust just drifting in this ocean of vanilla tobacco, whatever. And you still get some of that smoky aroma, right, to keep it warm. But that's what I think this fragrance is, right? So big blast of black pepper, kind of cinnamon at the beginning, and it calls you over to almost like a freezer burn kind of smell. And you open up your freezer, you got this cedar block in there, you saw into the cedar block, and it oozes out a cherry slushy. And I know I get kind of specific when I speak of like cherry smells, but I would say this is a cherry slushy or cherry slurpee kind of cherry smell. And you get cherry slushy, sort of tobacco kind of smell that then dries down into more of a vanilla decadent with a little bit of honey sparkles here and there, a little bit of sawdust, cedar chips still in that decadent ocean of vanilla tobacco, still warm, still that tobacco aroma with a little bit of incense, you know what I mean? That's what I think HEROD is. I like HEROD, the performance is fine. Again, it's a weird one because I do like it, and every time I wear it, I'm like, man, I really do like this. Why don't I wear it more? It's right up my alley, but I guess it's just something that sometimes, I guess there's no specific memory that really calls me to wear it a lot of times. I'm not sure. But it's a good like, kind of leaning towards strong like, not a love, but that is my review on HEROD. If you like these kind of reviews, like, sub, silly, comment. It does help the channel. I know a lot of people don't like the art review, or people tell me they like the art reviews, but they don't get views. How about that? Anyway, support the channel if you can. Thanks.